Y'all need to be safe out here.
Yep.
So I do not got the time. I do not got the time. All right, I think we're good. Are you at home? Are you bored? You should probably watch this documentary. Today we are going to be joined by 3 young individuals who will be expressing how they actually survived through COVID. So stay tuned.
All right, my name is James Fleming, owner of Royal Banana Pudding.
All right, so James, how has this pandemic affected you?
I actually had got sick with the coronavirus in March, the end of March. I was sick for about a week. So I was down, I couldn't do anything. Of course, I wasn't running my business at that time. So then after that, I actually picked up like a part-time job, nighttime job that I was doing. Just so I could still have some income coming in since I couldn't run my business. So it affected me a lot in the beginning.
Okay, so with it affecting your business, how can you say you actually pushed through?
So it kind of motivated me. The part-time job that I picked up, it kind of motivated me because I hated working for someone else, you know, being my own boss or whatever. So I actually went out and I was able to get a physical location for my business. Before I had that, I was just really selling out of my house, you know. So once I was able to get that physical location, that kind of motivated me even more. So once I did that, that kind of boosted my business a lot, which I didn't think that it would just due to the pandemic. But a lot of people, you know, they still was coming out. Maybe because they were kind of happy that they didn't have to drive all the way out to Novi, you know, to come pick up desserts, because, you know, I moved to a central location, which is in Southfield, which is majority of my customers are in Southfield. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So that's actually been a blessing for you.
Yes, it definitely has been. Yep.
So what is one thing that you learned about yourself during this pandemic?
Just my faith. My faith was definitely tested. That's something that I had an issue with prior to all of this. You know, I just being an entrepreneur, you know, my faith wasn't very strong. So once I was able to step out on that faith and just trust God and just knowing that, you know, He was gonna make a way for me regardless. So that was the key thing for me.
Absolutely. So as you know, we've been in this pandemic for several months, still in this ongoing pandemic. A lot of people have really struggled with their mental health. How did you actually keep your mental health in check?
It was tough in the beginning just because I'm so used to being around my family. For the first few months, I didn't even see any of my family. I was just at my apartment by myself. But you know, I definitely had to, you know, get out, and I did that. Just still making sure I followed the safety precautions, but I still make sure that I was able to get out and see my family, because that is a big thing for me. So that helped me out a lot. You know, I was kind of falling into a little bit of depression, being at home, not being able to have my business up and running. Yeah. So once I was able to do those things, it helped out a lot.
It boosted. Yeah. That's awesome. So what is one word of advice that you'd like to leave with us?
I would just say, if you are an entrepreneur, you know, just keep your perseverance, you know, keep going. You know, it does get tough, but you know, if you have that faith, if you have a strong support system, you will succeed. So to all entrepreneurs, just keep going. You'll get to where you want to be.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to leave people with some more information. So if you could just let them know how they can follow you and how they can actually purchase some of your desserts.
Okay. Yep. So on social media, it's just Royal Banana Pudding. And then my physical location is in Lathrop Village, 27260 Southfield Road, Suite 3. And that's again Lathrop Village 48076. And our phone number there is 248-225-5011. You can call, place an order, come in. I got things available in the store, as well as you can call and place orders for things too. So
awesome, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Danielle Rice, owner of So Extra Radio.
Thank you so much for joining us, Danielle. So tell me, how has this pandemic affected you?
The pandemic has it affected me a little bit, but I didn't let it get to me as much. I was actually blessed to still have my job and still work that full time. You know, a lot of people that I know were laid off, so I know it was hard for them. But I was fortunate to still have my job. Unfortunately for my podcast, I was just started that back up the beginning of this year, and it had to come to a halt because of the studio that I was losing. So that part definitely affected me because I was just getting back into it, and it just had to completely stop because everything shut down.
So you haven't really been able to kind of fully pursue the podcast like you imagined.
Exactly, yes. So I have not done actually any content at all.
Okay. And how have you pushed through, despite not being able to get into the studios and do these podcasts? How have you still kind of pushed through with this?
Honestly, I just look at it as a blessing because I thought about actually going on live on Instagram and doing it, but that wasn't my vision. I feel like that's not the vision that God had for me. And I worked so hard to get where I am today. I started working in my cousin's shop, doing my podcast, and my aunt's driving school into an actual studio. So for me, it was, you know what, you have more content, and I actually was able to think on it, the direction I was going, and I'm actually changing that direction that I wanted to do. So I have a lot of different topics, a lot of people that reached out to me that wants me to interview them, because I want to support more of the Black-owned businesses, especially since everything that's been going on. So that definitely has, you know, kind of helped me a little bit better.
Absolutely. So what is one thing that you've actually learned about yourself during this pandemic?
That I'm a go-getter. It never stopped. I definitely have my moments where I can be down and be too hard on myself, but I definitely just kept going, kept pushing. I actually just left my job. I was there for 4 years. I felt like I was too complacent and too comfortable, and it got to a point where I'm just seeing everyone leave one by one by one, and I'm like, why are you still here? They don't really care about you. It's just a business, it's business, a job is a job. So I was able to leave that job and go somewhere better to pursue not only my personal dream and goal, because I do like the business that I'm in, but also taught me that anything is possible. So
absolutely, yeah, that's definitely a blessing, because like you said, a lot of people have gotten laid off and have struggled to find a job. So for you to, you know, have that faith to be able to leave a job that you were at for 4 years and step into something else.
And during the pandemic, it was scary. And to have offers left and right, I'm like, dang, people want me. I was really excited because I've been there for so long. I'm like, it's gonna be a struggle for me to get in, but it was actually definitely a blessing.
That's amazing. So with everything going on, how did you keep your mental health in check?
Laughing, smiling. I was still around my close family, friends. You know, I would visit here and there. I was definitely still cautious. I traveled, definitely safe and cautious again. Honestly, I never really hit a low point. Fortunately, you know, I'm blessed to have my mother pray over us all the time and just taught me, like, just keep going and keep pushing. So I'm happy that I never really did get to that low point, and I never changed who I was, and I was just able to share me still on, you know, social media, because I know a lot of people I didn't know looked at me in a certain way. So when they saw me disappear, they're like, are you okay, you good? I'm like, yeah, yo, I'm just chilling. So it's like, I noticed if I'm keeping up in good spirits, everyone else around me will do the same thing.
Absolutely. So leaving us here today, what is one word of advice that you'd like to leave with us?
Keep going, keep pushing, don't give up, don't stop. If you do get to a moment where you feel lost or you feel like you don't know what to do, just pray. talk to people, ask questions. Like, it's okay to get to a point in your life where you're like, you know what, I don't know if this is something I want to do. And it's okay, because I'm 28 years old. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not where I want to be. But at the end of the day, God has a reason why he puts you in certain situations at certain times. So, yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Let everybody know, because I'm sure the podcast is coming back soon. It's gonna be relaunched, and I can feel it in the air.
It is. It's coming. It's coming.
Let everyone know how they can follow you.
They can follow me on Instagram at I'm So Extra Radio 1. That's the number 1. And I will be coming back 2021. So stay tuned, January, February area, but I'm definitely coming back with new content. So I'm excited.
Thanks, girl.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Tim Holly. No, I'm Pastor Tim Holly, True Life Christian Church. What's up?
All right, Pastor Tim. So how has this pandemic affected you?
Ooh, how hasn't it affected me? I have, I was sick at the beginning,
Okay.
right at the end of March, and I was down tough, like about 30 days. And from there, we just, navigate from that and pull back. But I think one of the things that has been the craziest part is it's literally eradicated everything that's normal for us, and it's left us with pieces that we got to figure out what to do with. And so the pandemic has been great at doing that, but at the same time, it's given us time back that we otherwise would not have had. So, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, so to speak,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
A gift and a curse, I must say.
Yeah, truly, yeah.
So how have you pushed through with your ministry?
I think prayer first and foremost. You figure out the winning secrets in that place of prayer. And I think from that, I've learned how to be flexible and adaptive. You have to be willing to, take lemons and make lemonade. And I think that's what we've all had to do with the pandemic. Figure out how to navigate, figure out how to adapt, be flexible, be open to new ideas. And if we've done that, we will see success on the other side of the pandemic.
Absolutely. Did you ever think that you would have to be doing church live?
No, I did not. I didn't think it was gonna happen like this. It was definitely a shift. You want to be present with church. You want to be in the atmosphere. You want to feel and touch people, and you want to pray with them and sing and worship with them, and everything in terms of that just got wiped away. So I'm like this, right, in front of a camera all the time, but it's good. You push through with figuring out how to stay a winner. So, it's been cool.
Absolutely. So what is one thing that you've actually learned about yourself during this pandemic?
There's more in me than I thought. I think my faith is stronger than I knew it was. My skill set is greater than I knew it was. I'm learning how to edit video. I'm learning how to, I'm making shirts. I'm doing everything, right? I'm trying to figure it all out because I'll never get this time back. So I think the thing that I've learned the most is way more inside of us than often meets the surface, and we got to dig deep and find that.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you actually keep your mental health in check during this time?
I think not checking out, looking at, trying my best to continue to look at the glass as being half full, being optimistic that things would literally level out at some point, trying my best to be intentional about starting and stopping stuff during the day, right? Like not letting my whole day be mashed together because I'm in the house, having those breaks and just being intentional about my time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is one word of advice that you'd like to leave with us here today?
I think the most important thing that I would like to leave today is nothing lasts forever the same way. And so while this feels like it's never going to end, this too is going to have a stopping point. This too is going to transition into something else, right? And so we have to await that moment and look forward to that moment and be optimistic, because it's not going to look just like this, forever. So absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me anytime you want.
Before we before we let you go today, please let them know how they can actually watch your church live.
We are live on we're live noon on Saturdays. Saturdays at noon. Instagram, Facebook, at We Are True Life Church, True Life Christian Church. My wife gonna kill me. True Life Christian Church on Instagram and on Facebook, and then you can watch any of the replays on YouTube. We're on YouTube as well. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Four.